President Woodrow Wilson was always ready for war. Even though he told the people of America that they would not fight in the First World War, as shown by an Emma Goldman's In Preparedness, The Road to Universal Slaughter, that which has driven the forces of Europe into the trenches and battlefields is not their inner longing for war. It must be traced back to the cutthroat competition for military equipment, for a more efficient army, for larger warships, for a more powerful cannon. You cannot build a standing army and then throw it back into a box like toy soldiers. This proved to be very true during World War I. On May 7, 1915, German submarines off the coast of southern Ireland sunk the British ocean liner the Lusitania. Ships in those waters were told to look out for German submarines or U-boats by traveling in zigzag lines, but the captain of the Lusitania slowed the Lusitania down and had her travel in a straight line because of fog in the area. Soon German U-boats saw the ship and had her in their sights. At approximately 1:40 p.m., the U-boats fired a torpedo at the Lusitania. The torpedo hit the right side of the ship. Almost immediately after, another explosion rocked the ship. Less than 20 minutes later, the ship was sunk. 1,198 people were killed. 128 Americans were killed. This amount shocked and enraged the general public of America. This only raised tensions between the United States and Germany. President Wilson and the German embassy sent and received several different notes, including the Lusitania note. In these notes, Germans were informed that any more destruction involving U.S. citizens would be regarded as a deliberately unfriendly action. But even as negotiations to avoid the war continued, the passenger British steamer, the Arabic, was sunk on the 19th of August, and a number of Americans were drowned. The German ambassador sent a letter to the United States Secretary of State. In this letter, the German ambassador tried to justify the sinking of the Arabic. Quote, according to the report of Commander Scheinard of the submarine that sank the Arabic and his adjutant, as well as those of his men, Commander Scheinard was convinced that the Arabic intended to ram the submarine. But then he goes on to say that the German government believes the Arabic was not trying to ram the submarine. On the other hand, the imperial government does not doubt the good faith of the evidence of British officers of the Arabic, according to which the Arabic did not intend to ram the submarine. The attack of the submarine, therefore, was undertaken against the instructions issued to the commander. So does this mean that several Americans that drowned shouldn't have died? So does even more Americans had lost their lives for no reason except the German commander? America had remained neutral in the war, so why did their people deserve to die? First 128 Americans on the Lusitania, and now this was enough for the people of America. The final act of hostility forced them into the bulk of World War I. The American people had been lucky that President Wilson had been prepared for such a war happening. Like Emma Goldman said, you cannot build up a standing army and then throw it back into a box like toy soldiers. The torpedoing of the Arabic and the note from the German embassy hugely affected World War I because it made America join the war. From this point on, they could no longer sit back and watch innocent people be killed. If these ships had never been attacked, the United States might have stayed out of the war completely. But after continuous killing incidents of American citizens, Woodrow Wilson stepped in and said any more would be considered a deliberate, unfriendly act. But after the Germans attacked the Arabic, the United States were forced to enter World War I. If this had never happened, who knows if America would have ever joined World War I.